There was a story that new DNC chair Tom Perez was asking everyone to resign. I didn't look into the details, but that's what the headline stated. So Bernie Sanders has commented. He said, quote, DNC absolutely needs massive overhaul. So here's what NBC News says, quote, Senator Bernie Sanders said Wednesday that the Democratic National Committee absolutely needs a major overhaul, responding Wednesday to an NBC News report that new chairman Tom Perez intends to shake up the party's organizational structure and staffing. The party programmatically, in terms of how it does business, he said, has failed, Sanders said on MSNBC's Morning Joe. The Democratic Party today programmatically, in terms of how it does business, has failed, Sanders said on MSNBC's Morning Joe. Okay, so he's going to get into the evidence, but before that, I'm going to give you guys the evidence. The evidence is that we have lost a shitload of seats everywhere. We have barely any governorships. It's like 14 or 13 or 15. We have 48 senators, I believe, who are either Democrat or independent and caucus with the Democrats. Meaning we don't have a majority there, which it was expected we were because there were 19 incumbent Republicans running, meaning 19 of them had to defend, while there was way less Democrats. In the House, we have a vast minority. I'm not sure what the number is exactly, but we're down like 40 seats or something like that. It's not even funny. The representation is disgusting. And obviously Trump wins the presidency, so you have the executive branch, you have the legislative branch, and then if Trump is able to get Neil Gorsuch through, you have the judicial branch. So we're fucked. I mean, it's not even funny. The Supreme Court can overturn any rulings, so if they get the majority in there, I mean, we are screwed. But anyway, so Debbie Wasserman Schultz was a horrible, horrible DNC chair. And Harry Reid, the former Senate Minority Leader, said himself, the Senate Minority Leader, who's a corporate guy, he was by no means a progressive. He said it himself that Debbie Wasserman Schultz was indeed a failed person because she has the Hillary mentality. She didn't give a shit. And I read a report that Obama, if he hadn't ran for president in 2008, he was planning to run for DNC chair. And she was planning to make a smear campaign against him, calling him anti-Semitic and sexist. I don't even know what to say, honestly. He continued, I mean, the evidence is obvious. It's not just that we've lost the White House and the United States Senate and the United States House. We've lost 900 legislative seats in the last 8 or 9 years. He's totally right. And I think that it's going to change this time because thousands of people have signed up to run for positions, and things like Emily's List and Run for Something and Justice Democrats and Draft Bernie and all these other different brand new Congress. He continues, quote, so clearly the Democratic Party needs a top-down overhaul, and that top-down overhaul means that instead of becoming dependent and being dependent on big money interests or campaign contributions, it has got to become a grassroots party, he said, citing a groundswell of grassroots energy opposing the GOP healthcare plan. Finally, Perez has got to capitalize that, and that's the kind of party the Democrats have to create, Sanders added. So, he's totally right, as always. Not as always, but a vast majority of the time. They have to, in order for us to really come back, we need to go back to a grassroots movement of real progressivism, looking at the issues, forget about identity politics and all this stuff. So we need to move away from that, get to the actual issues, the policy positions, and we may be able to win in 2018. We can flip the House because they run for every 2 years, they run for re-election. But the Senate is going to be tough because 25 Democrats, slash independents who caucus with Democrats, have to defend their seats. Only 9 Republicans defend their seats. But if the voter turnout is high enough and the approval rating of Trump is low enough, they may be able to get the seats. Because if it's like borderline impeachment, like that may just, maybe enough. This whole Russia thing going on, like Sally Yates being blocked from giving her testimony. Now Michael Flynn, who resigned for lying or misleading Pence about his meetings with Sergei Kislyak, is now offering to testify in exchange for immunity from any kind of prosecution. So this is looking really bad. Paul Manafort had some ties to a banker who had ties to Putin and all this shit. So it's not looking good. And Bernie Sanders is right. If we can do this and capitalize, we can win anything and everything. What's up, guys? It's Saul Hill here. You guys are watching The Progressive Voice. Make sure you guys click subscribe down below. We're fighting Donald Trump tooth and nail, and we need your help.